In the last 3 years, we've seen Fox News, Sky TV, BBC, and others come out and say white Al-Qaeda is working with Al-Qaeda and in one clip they used on Fox, it showed a British government training video where the military was dressed up with ski masks with bazookas, showing what a terror training camp might look like. But people weren't told that. I had to go look it up. And so what they do is they tell the public, this has all been set up for people that are different from you, people overseas. We're not taking your rights. We're just setting up this police state to fight, you know, these evil people overseas that live in caves that made NORAD stand down on 9/11 and all this other baloney. But then when you get the Homeland Security documents, the MIAC reports, remember all those earlier last year that we got, that we broke, that the FBI had to admit were real, where their main internal focus is gun owners, conservatives, libertarians. That's who's being tracked. That's who's being controlled. And so, yes, more and more we're being told terrorists could look like anybody. But going back to 2001, 2002, all these training manuals, even the public ones for police, say don't trust a woman with a baby carriage. Don't trust a priest. Don't trust anybody. Anybody could be Al-Qaeda. And so that's happening. Now, on a totally different subject of Illuminati symbolism, I like to be careful about this because people can go overboard with it. Like, I'll make films about the New World Order, and then I'll say, we will defeat the New World Order. And I'll show an all-seeing eye and pyramid saying terror storm. And then all these websites get created going, look, he's got Illuminati programming in his film. He's got hidden symbols. They're not hidden. A big giant pyramid. When I'm talking about the New World Order and their system and their symbol being a pyramid of command and control compartmentalization, I'm going to show you an all-seeing eye pyramid. They've done reviews of my film Order of Death. The whole thing is about Illuminati symbolism. It's about exposing it so people go, look, he's showing symbolism. I was a consultant on A Scanner Darkly, and they wanted to point out that it was like an Illuminati-type future where the government puts out the drugs through a private corporation that then basically turns you into a brainwashed zombie, and then the government controls the rehabs, the work camps. It makes you a slave. So they sell you the drugs. It ruins your brain, makes you a zombie, and then they use you as a slave. It's a Philip K. Dick book. Hate to give away the end of the movie, but that's the storyline. And I consulted some on the high-tech aspects of it, on the surveillance aspect of it. I'm also in the film with Keanu Reeves, Winona Ryder, Woody Harrelson, and others. And there's Illuminati symbolism throughout it. We're saying it's the Illuminati. It's the Illuminati. I mean, a guy wearing a shirt with an all-seeing eye on it, Illuminati symbolism on the walls, that's out in the open. We're saying it's the Illuminati. It's the New World Order. Okay? Now, that said, there is massive symbolism. The symbol for CBS and all these major logos being all-seeing eyes. All these top rappers. And you guys found a video clip of that. Play it for the PrisonPlanet.tv viewers in the background now. We were playing it earlier. And you see them doing all these gang signs and Illuminati signs in their films. And, that's saying, we're down with it. We're on the inside track. Of course, because there's so much power associated with the New World Order and the Illuminati that people are then going to mimic it. They're going to imitate it. Now, that said, and I gave you guys a group of printouts when I got into the office today. I hadn't stapled them yet. Did you staple those? Oh, good. Here's the stack. I actually went to the Library of Congress. It's not in this stack. I actually went to the Library of Congress, and later in the week, I am going to do a little 10-minute piece on the weekday show while we're simulcasting at PrisonPlanet.tv so people can actually see it. And I want to prepare for it. I want to have it all preloaded in the computer so we can do it in a graceful way and go over all of it. I want to engage in a defense of George Washington. Because last week I did a little short 10-minute tribute to George Washington and to the founding of our country, and how he was offered to be the king of the colonies, and he said no. And then I got all these emails and comments saying, Alex, George Washington was Illuminati. Look, there's this quote about him saying, I am satisfied with the fact that the Illuminati is operating in the United States. Well, you just don't know classical English of that day. Our English has changed. He was saying, I am satisfied that this is going on, meaning, yes, I agree this is going on. And so I went to the Library of Congress online, and there are more than 20 letters by George Washington where he speaks of the Illuminati. And in that very letter that everyone uses against him, the scan of the letter, he is writing letters. In fact, they did find it. I IM'd it to him. There is the letter. He is writing to people. He wrote hundreds of these, but Library of Congress has 20 or so that I could find, warning them. And so they use this famous quote and take it out of context for what the quote clearly means, preying on people who aren't aware of how classical English worked. And then they ignore the very next paragraph where he says the Illuminati and Jacobins are of the worst sorts and horrible criminals, and we must stop them taking over America. See, there's the copy of the letter, and there's a whole bunch of them. I spent like 3 hours. I couldn't quit reading these Friday night. So what he said is, in this letter, it says, if you've ever doubted the existence of the Illuminati order, there are archives from George Washington himself which prove not only they exist, but they were intensely active in America. And this site that wrote about it is very accurate, in that that's a whole nother controversy here. People keep acting like the Illuminati doesn't exist or didn't ever exist when it was the main issue of the day, the 1770s through 1820 or so. And I had read countless mainline history books where George Washington was fighting the Illuminati. I had read text of his letters. I had never actually looked at the letters, the scans of the letters themselves. So what people do is they take out of context the following. It was not my intention to doubt the doctrines of the Illuminati and principles of Jacobinism had not spread to the United States. So people take it out of context and make it sound like he's saying they're good. It was not my intention to doubt the doctrines of the Illuminati. And they stop. He's saying, I'm not doubting that they're going on in the United States. It was not my intention to doubt that the doctrines of the Illuminati and the principles of Jacobinism have not spread to the United States. On the contrary, no one is more truly satisfied of this fact than I am. And they prey on ignorant people and say that satisfied means he likes it. No, he's saying, I'm satisfied of the fact that they're operating here in the United States. And later in the week, I'll read the rest of the letter where he then calls them the worst type of scum that must be stopped.